Also in Baltimore City, a 13-year-old was released to his parents following his arrest on charges of assault and car theft, despite police labeling him as an imminent danger. Police and the Department of Juvenile Services are blaming each other for policies allowing the suspect to be freed. Fox 45's Jessica Babb spoke to legal experts and joins us live with a closer look at exactly what that law says. Jessica?
The attorneys I spoke with say in their experience when it comes to kids as young as 13, unless there's a gun charge, it's likely they'll be released. They say the goal of the juvenile justice system is to rehabilitate and help kids rather than put them behind bars. But some community members say there should be more accountability. With cases of juvenile crime across Baltimore,
you don't feel safe.
Residents like George Moore say even kids should face consequences.
And everybody should be consequences for their actions.
He just had his car window shattered. On Memorial Day, he was watching when a 13-year-old was arrested, accused of kicking and punching a man and trying to steal a car. Not long after, the teen was taken home. The police report saying even with an extensive violent criminal history and imminent danger to citizens of Baltimore City, DJS said the crime didn't exceed the threshold to be held. Based on state law, a juvenile can be held if they're determined to be a danger or may not show up for court. So with concerns from police, we asked DJS why they released the 13-year-old, but they wouldn't comment on specific cases. While BPD oversees the booking process, police say whether or not a kid is held is up to DJS. Based on state law, they say DJS is responsible to make a decision based on a detention risk screening.
DJS makes the initial decision. Obviously, the courts make the final decisions in something like that.
Well, DJS says they don't have oversight of BPD juvenile booking. On their FAQ page, it says if a kid is arrested and taken to DJS, a case management specialist will look at the case and determine if they should be detained or returned home. This DJS manual also saying the intake officers have statutory authority to determine how the case should be handled.
I mean, due to capacity reasons and just the overwhelming nature of the juvenile cases, a lot of juveniles are released, especially in cases like this, where there's not a firearm involved.
So how serious does a crime need to be? I followed up with DJS asking what is the threshold for when a juvenile is held? And while we haven't heard back, attorneys like Benjamin Herbst and Tom Aronik say there's many factors they consider.
In other words, the courts and DJS are going to look at whether the juvenile should have known better.
But with calls from community members to hold juveniles accountable,
the public always wants that, but that's specifically not aligned with what the juvenile system is about, because it's not about punishment.
Herbst says the goal is to rehabilitate them. And while some kids do commit crimes after being released,
recidivism is a big problem, particularly if it's a juvenile who's committed a crime and then thinks, okay, well, if I can do that, they're not going to do anything to me. I'll go ahead and do another one.
At the end of the day,
it comes down to the parents and the juvenile. You know, if they don't want to do better, there's nothing that the court can really do.
And the attorneys say when it comes to why these young teens and kids are released, they say detaining them can often do more harm than good. And the focus is getting them in programs that can help them. But of course, I asked DJS several follow-up questions, and I'm still waiting for their responses. When we hear back, we'll let you know what they have to say. Live in Baltimore, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.